Hello, what is good, YouTube? This is OWS The King for OWS The King Gaming, your hub for casual gaming. It's been a minute. Since I've done a chat with you guys in the channel. We're going to do something a little different. A long but honest, unscripted conversation about games that I've actually dropped over the last few months. If you've been a regular on the channel, you noticed that my channel has turned very gameplay heavy. Kind of looks like that might be the foreseeable future for the channel. It's a couple of videos that I want to put out there about the direction I'm putting the channel in and the reasoning for it. So we'll save that for another time. This is not like a hot take list or a rage video, things of that nature. It's just me walking through what I played and what I liked and why I eventually walked away from said game. If you're into these real talks about video games, hey, stick around to the channel. But can you do your boy a favor? Can you do Uncle OWS a favor? Hit that like button, get in the comment sections and let me know what games are you playing right now and what games that you started on and it just wasn't for you, and what games that you got turned off of, and what games made you rage quit, things of that nature. So yeah, man, let's talk about it. But yeah, as I said, I've been posting my gameplay on the channel, so most of these things I actually try to finish and share on the channel. So it's some that I just end up rage quitting, some I stopped caring about, and I'm not trying to trash any of these games. It's a few of them that I have things I liked, but overall it just didn't land for me. So I'll be honest, I'll be blunt, and we'll try to keep this fun. So let's get right to it, man. The first game I end up dropping in these past couple of months was the Karate Kid Street Rumble. If you check on my channel, you will see on the Karate Kid has its own playlist, and right now it's one episode, and it looks like that's probably what's going to be it so far as Karate Kid Street Rumble experience. I played this on the Xbox Series X. I picked it up cheap earlier throughout the year. If I can remember, I posted a video like over maybe 9 months ago of some video game pickups, and that was one of them. This was like $20 on Woot. Shout out to Woot. If you're not on Woot, that's WOOT. That is a little brother to Amazon. Get on Amazon and type in Woot. And then look in the electronic video game section. You'll get some good deals on there, and it's like all year round, man. And they'll have like copies of certain games that you might not find, or you actually find on the actual Amazon site, and it's way more expensive than you get it on this Whoop thing. And then they'll have multiple copies until they run out, and then they won't sell them anymore. So get on there and check some out and stuff. I'm sure somebody will find games, whether it's for Xbox, PlayStation, Switch. You'll find something on there that you like for a good price. So yeah, the Karate Kid Street Rumble is another beat 'em up in the Karate Kid franchise. I guess this is like the third one out of the recent set. And going into watching a few other reviews to it, I guess out of the three, this was like the most fun one. This was the most polished. So I was like, yeah, Karate Kid playing as Mr. Miyagi. How can you mess that up? The premise was solid. You can play as Daniel. You can play as what is that? The one girl, Allie. You can play as Miyagi. and it follows the first movie beats from the first movie. It's been so long since I've actually watched that movie. Man, the execution just was like so hollow. First of all, and I hate to be nitpicky on a beat 'em up game itself, because most beat 'em ups don't have much of a story, but it starts out telling the story of how Daniel moved from Jersey to, what was it, California, and it tells the story of how you started out, and then how you're trying to get used to this new life, and then you deal with the bullies, and trying to meet friends and things of that nature. But it goes straight into, after this cutscene, it goes straight into, well, depending on whoever you pick, it goes straight into the fight. It doesn't go into the where you meet Mr. Miyagi or anything like that. It just goes straight into the actual action of the game. Why put that much emphasis on the story at the beginning if you're not going to actually play out to the point where it makes sense? Like, I would have figured that you start off with Daniel, and then maybe you end up collecting new fighters as you go on to the game, where you finally meet Mr. Miyagi. You'll end up being more close to Ali and things of that nature. Like, you would think that it would be more note for note, but it puts you right into what they think is like the action. So it came off hollow. Like I said, what I liked about it was being able to play Mr. Miyagi, or switching off to Daniel. That part is cool. The nostalgia of it was decent, seeing these old characters. But the combat, what it went wrong was the combat. The combat itself just felt dull. It had no actual bite to it. It didn't have no impact into the fights themselves. You're pretty much just going about the motions when you're fighting. You get to a certain point where you start in the area, you fight off some of the same old basic enemies, you wipe them out, and then you go a couple of inches more into another area, you stop, and then you're doing it all over again. Now, that is about standard of a beat 'em up. I get that. But if we're, comparing apples and oranges and stuff, let's put Streets of Rage 2 in comparison to this. Well, a person that is not into beat 'em ups will probably say that Streets of Rage 2 is repetitive and boring. What's the difference between Streets of Rage 2 and this? Well, replayability, for one, with Streets of Rage 2. See, with beat 'em ups, you will have to have like some kind of that thing that keeps you hooked on playing that said game. Because yes, beat 'em ups do get repetitive, but with Streets of Rage, you have good combat, you have great move sets, you have great characters, you have somewhat of a narrative, a great story, and the music is on point, like all day with Streets of Rage and bangers. This game doesn't have that. It has none of that. I could care less about the move sets. The move sets is bland. I could care less about the all around setting that you're in. Is that's pretty much lifeless. You're pretty much looking at stuff that's forgettable. No killer soundtrack to carry these repetitive fights. It has a RPG type of elements to it, kind of like your River City Girls type of beat 'em up, but it's definitely not like those games, not at all. Just not interesting. I tried to push through it and post a playthrough, but I got only a few parts done. I may post part 2, But I just remember thinking, I paid $20 for this. And I mean, in this economy, that's something to actually complain about. Like, I mean, that $20 could have went on into a better experience, whatever it would have been, another game or something. It's definitely not worth. I definitely didn't get my $20 worth of this game. So I'll just leave it at that. So I got to like a couple of levels, and I started to feel like I do not like this. I do not like this, and I have so many other games that I can play that I don't want to push myself through any more of this game. And it was disappointing because a lot of people was giving it good raves and stuff, and saying that how great of a game it is. Well, I'm gonna have to disagree with you guys there when it comes to this game. It was bland. It's straight sleepy time. I have to have that thing when it comes to beat 'em ups, and beat 'em ups are one of my favorite genres, and it had nothing there to keep me going and finishing up this game. So yeah, back on the shelf for Karate Kid Street Rumble. I would have to say that if you're into it, maybe you can find some fun into it playing with another person. That it has couch co-op. It has I think online co-op. Maybe that's where the fun would come in, having 2 to 3 people with you getting through this game. So definitely not a single player game that will be enjoyed if you're playing it by yourself. I guarantee you that. So yeah. And if you feel like you want that type of nostalgic novelty to it, maybe you're looking for something that kind of similar to River City Girls, or like the Scott Pilgrim beat 'em up that came out back in the day, and they re-released and remastered over a few times over the years. If you feel like that's something that, if you like those type of things, or because I really don't even like that damn Scott Pilgrim game. And that's loved by a lot of people too. So maybe it's just me, man. But this game is not fun at all. And yeah, we'll just leave it at that. So if you want a satisfying single player beat 'em up with some depth to it, I would say go get you some Final Fight. Go get you some Streets of Rage. Go get you some Streets of Rage 2. And I want to talk about this other game, Streets of Rage, the remake. It was a fan-made game that I recently went through finally. And yeah, I got a lot to say about that, but that will be on another video. But yeah, check that one out too. So we will leave that one as that. So next game that I dropped over these past few months is Monkey Hero for PlayStation 1. So Monkey Hero for the original PlayStation. This one felt like a Zelda-ish action RPG. I feel like that's what the vibe they was going for, but let me say right off the bat, it moves at a snail's pace. And unfortunately, it never hooked me. I bought this game a couple years ago when I was in my PlayStation 1 heavy collector's stage. As a collector, I was really getting into trying to find obscure PlayStation games that nobody was really talking about. Nobody was really, I didn't see any reviews on, things of that nature. And before I buy anything, sometimes I'll try to find some gameplay and maybe a review here and there. But I don't think I've seen anything about this game. If I can remember right, what hooked me, believe it or not, was the cover art. That cover art is awesome. I love, and I got it with me right now and stuff. That cover art for the Monkey Hero and stuff is standard 1990s, early 90s, late 90s PlayStation goodness, man. I'm a sucker for some good PlayStation cover art, man. And that one fit the bill. And I'm like, how is this game bad, man? How is this bad? Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. It's with a lot of RPGs, whether it's turn-based or action RPGs. Action RPGs is really, if I play one of those, that has to be my go-to. And they usually start off slow because they want to set the story up. They want to kind of lay the groundwork on what's going on so you can go out there and explore the world, and it tells the story from there. Well, I didn't have the patience for it. I didn't have the patience for it. It started off so slow. When you start as, you know, this kid, this monkey kid or whatever the hell he is, working in these mines. And then you're going through this like earthquake that happened, and it's trying to take you through what's going on. The kid gets knocked on his head and stuff, and he falls into this big ass cave, and then it's like this whole thing and stuff with this other creature and these monsters that's trying to take over. I didn't really get into the story itself because I didn't play it very long. I didn't play it very long at all. And it took so long to just get going into you getting into the actual action of the game. And it started to turn me off. You throw a lot of text at me, and you get into the point where it's like way text heavy. It turns me off. It turns me off right off the bat. So the slow pace, that was already a check on, you know, me pretty much tuning this one out. No voice acting, as not every game needs voice acting, but it really could have helped with this game. Back in these days, you was lucky if you would get that, and usually the the voice acting wasn't the best. And then the combat, and that's usually would be like my saving grace. Is the combat good? Is the fighting good? And the combat and the progression just felt weak. You pick up barrels, and you do that for a while until you find this bamboo stick, which took a long time to find. It wasn't like one of those Zelda things where you going right into that cave and you get your sword. It's you got to do some a little bit of wandering around to get this damn stick, and it really seemed like it was just something that didn't make much of a difference. You're fighting these little snails, and you kind of just wiping them out with one hit, and yeah, it's just it wasn't good. The navigation was confusing. I know with a lot of these RPGs and stuff that navigating and looking around and trying to find where to go next and stuff is like the part of the experience. But it's when everything pretty much looks the same, when things aren't very engaging, it's kind of hard to stay invested. And I tried, and it just wasn't hooking me. I edited a lot of the footage in that gameplay because I was constantly trying to figure out where to go. You get this like crown thing that's supposed to help you figure out like your locations and kind of used as like a map or maybe some form of like GPS and stuff, but it didn't seem like it meant anything. So yeah, you're just doing a lot of walking around, talking to someone just going to the next area, trying to find a key to get another key. It's just, it was not working for me. And I was kind of disappointed. Because I was like, okay, let's really try to deep dive into a action RPG. And I thought maybe this one might have been the one, and I can, talk about it and talk about how great it was. But this one didn't land for me, man. It didn't. Not my cup of tea. I imagine somebody loves this game, boots it up and has the time of their life, but you gotta have more some pace when it comes to these action RPGs for me, man. Like, we'll do another comparison, man. Like action RPGs like Yakuza, like the Yakuza series. Those games for me has a start of a great story right at the beginning, and then they put you right into the action and keeps you invested with that action. Like you go into these fights and you want to keep doing them because the combat is engaging, the RPG elements are engaging, the world itself is engaging. You're walking around, you're going to these different places, you're going to these different areas. They giving you basically this whole world to live in. And granted that these are kind of different when it comes to like age. It didn't do anything for me. It didn't do anything for me at all when it comes to old Monkey Hero, man. So yeah, like I said, this could be a classic for somebody. I imagine it is, but just not for me, man. Just not for me. So I had to put old Monkey Hero down. Maybe if as I get older, I'll I'll gather some more patience for this game and pop it in and try it. And then it don't help because, of course, it's a PlayStation 1 game and the loading times was abysmal. That doesn't help at all. When it comes to games like this, you want to get going. You want to play this and not feel like the waiting for the load screens to be another chore that you got to deal with when it comes to playing something like this. So, hey, maybe that PlayStation 6 that we getting, that I'm hoping that it'll be fully backwards compatible. This is wishful thinking, I know, but it when that comes and that drops, that it eliminates all these crazy load times, and maybe we'll see some more Monkey Hero on the channel. So that is it for old Monkey Hero for the PlayStation 1. Next game we want to talk about is Mind's Eye for the PlayStation 5. Look, this one was complicated. And this one was very complicated for me to even review. I had a couple of thoughts between every session. If you look on my channel, I think it's like right now maybe 5 parts up of me playing through this game. And I definitely wanted to love it. I definitely wanted to give it a chance in comparison to a lot of other YouTubers that dogpiled on this shit just for views, or they felt like they was lied to somehow with them, giving this the expectations that this was supposed to be the palate cleanser for us waiting for the next Grand Theft Auto game. I think a lot of people's expectations for this was a little bit on the higher side. And so because it didn't meet that, it got dogpiled. It got dogpiled for, in my opinion, it wasn't warranted, because I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not a bad game. It's not a bad game. I didn't deal with whatever bullshit glitches and problems that people were saying that they was having, and from the day one. I didn't get it day one. I got it like a week after. Excuse me. I got it a week after it came out, and whatever issues that people was complaining about or making fun of and things of that nature, I did not see. They cleaned that up right away. So kudos to them for the devs in Mind's Eye to get that part figured out right away. I wanted to love this game and I wanted to get through it. The trailer itself sold me when I first saw the game. I was like, this shit is dope. Like the premise, the presentation and stuff, it was dope. So let me first say what I liked about the game. What I like about it. This is a beautiful looking game. Motion capture, the presentation all around, it's well narrative. The story kept me engaged. Those three things themselves I liked. I wish I was able to enjoy more of the world. We'll get into that here in a minute about the world itself. But the game has a few handful design choices that were an issue, but so far as the world itself, so far as the characters, so far as the way it looks, that stuff was fine. Gun shooting in this game is great. When it comes to the aiming, controls, things of that nature and stuff, walking around, driving, all that stuff is top tier. I have no issue with that. The narrative, the story, like I said, kept me invested. You wanted to know what was going on with Jacob Diaz. It was this something that that he was going through, had something to do with maybe it was more of an android type of thing. Was it something that was more like spiritual, more that something that they found in that cave? I'm actually kind of, if you haven't played the game itself, I'm going to kind of talk about some story beats. But Jacob, he works in the military. He had this drone to go and scope out what was going on in these old, like, want to say like pyramid caves, and whatever was going on in them caves fucked up the drone. The drone came out and, it took out Jacob, and it fucked everybody else up. And then we went from there. Jacob holds up. He's looking for work. His buddy brings him in into his house. He gets him a job at this kind of a Tesla plant, if that's what you want to say, call it, working with this kind of second CIA type of group. I don't know, playing as a kind of a security type of guy. And all that stuff was interesting. And I never got to the point where I was tired of the story. There was characters in the game that was pissing me off, but the story itself about what was going on with Jacob and how he was working with this guy, this multi-billion-dollar tech guy, like all that stuff was interesting. Visuals top notch. Music, the music itself was worth going through and playing the game itself. I'm thinking like some techno, electronic, ambient type of music. Think of maybe like something that maybe Trent Reznor. If somebody said Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails, is it Nine Inch Nails? Oh, I might have screwed it up. But yeah, Trent Reznor. Think of him. If somebody said that he made this, he was involved with this, with the music that's in this game, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. But this is where lies the problem, the issue, and it goes with mostly the combat. Mostly the combat itself. The combat feels undercooked. It feels undercooked. The guns and the variety of guns and the variety of how they all shoot, how they all are different. It was very limited. A pistol didn't feel no different than a shotgun. You had a shotgun, you had a pistol, and you had a semi-auto. None of those things felt different from the other. And the choices of guns and stuff was very, like I said, very limited. And you would think that, well, it would be something else there to make up for this. Well, you can't. There has no actual other combat when it comes to fighting. You can't punch anybody. You can't swing. You can't kick. You can't do a takedown or anything. How does Jacob, coming from the military, can't punch anybody in the fucking face? Can't punch anybody in the face. So the combat itself was very lacking. And it's just one of those things that was like, that is so odd. That is so odd that, and you think, okay, well, what's the big deal that you can't, well, why not? What other game that you played that was like this open world things of that nature that you couldn't have actual combat? Look at Saints Row, look at the Grand Theft Autos, look at any of those games, look at Bully. I mean, even in Bully, you can knock somebody over the goddamn head and stuff. It's crazy that was not a thing in this game. They really was trying to hammer down the whole espionage, maybe, or CIA vibe to it. It was just guns. It was just guns, dodging, shoot, and from what that part, what it had for that was fine. You know, the duck and cover, the being able to like slide into behind a wall and shoot a guy. Those things that was fine, but it didn't have that impact to it. And I had an issue with that. Then they add this thing where, well, they give you a drone, and the drone itself doesn't serve any purpose other than to open up a door and stun a robot or stun a enemy. I got maybe 6 hours into this game, and the time that I had with the drone itself, once I was able to use it, it just didn't do much. The most it did is when I got to this point of going into this prison, is that I was able to fly my drone over and go into this area first before I was able to get myself into the actual prison. So I was able to sneak my drone in, and basically the drone just waited for me to get into there myself, because if I walked to the front and the security patted me down and noticed that I had the drone, they would arrest me or whatever. It would have been a big issue. I don't know. But it just seemed like that was like a waste of time too, you know? And yeah, just the pacing itself was inconsistent. They wanted you to get to the missions right away, because right off at the bat, and they end up changing this later as an upgrade, as not an upgrade but an update, where you couldn't go off the beaten path and check things out yourself. You had to go from mission to mission to mission, you know. And I know I'm talking long about this game because it's very, I'm very passionate about this game because I wanted to like it so much. I wanted to stick it to every YouTuber that was bandwagon and hating on this fucking game for no damn reason. And like I said, it's still a decent game. It's just, it had a lot of issues with it. And it was a couple of things that made me just, you know, eventually just say, I'm done. They make you go from mission to mission right off the bat. You can't go off the beaten path to the point where they gave you a timer. They gave you a timer to get to the next section of the game that you needed to be in. And at points, that part didn't make any sense because, or it was actually unfair because you had to rush to the next area that you was in, or you would have ran out of time and then they would have reset it and you had to start all over again. It was parts where you had to go like on the other side of the damn city within like 3 minutes, and you're flying, you're running over fucking people, and you crashing into shit just to get into this certain area within like 3 minutes, and it almost take like 5 minutes to get there. If that makes any sense. Why did they do that? Why did they do that? It was so fucking dumb. And then to push that narrative of, oh, you got to get to this next spot that you're going to, wherever that you need to go, you got to get to it right and fast, and you can't stop, you can't look at a area, you can't enjoy the scenery at all. To beat that on your head, to hit that home, they have the most annoying fucking character. And so it's a character on here, right? And I might put in a snippet of what I'm talking about from the part 2 gameplay that I posted on my channel. Officer Rigby on here is probably the most annoying. I have never been so pissed off at a certain character on a video game so much, to the point where I was just done. I was just done, and I couldn't do it. I forced myself into playing this game, and it took everything I had to keep going, because they made her so goddamn annoying and so up your ass every time that you did anything, every time that they felt like you was going off the beaten path. I was just trying to get to the next mission, and she would call, and you're like, well, where are you going? Where are you doing this? You need to get to where you need to go right now. Why aren't you there yet? Why haven't you gotten there yet? And it just kept on going and going and going. And this, and I'm thinking to myself, this can't be just a me thing. This can't just be a me thing. What? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I'm getting mad just thinking about it. It's been months ago. It's been like 5 months since I've well, it's been about 3 months actually since I played this game. But it pissed me off then, and I couldn't take it. If you go through the playlist of on the channel of the Mind's Eye thing, in the title it says, "Jesus Christ, lady, shut the fuck up." And I and I hate to be that way. And I really, like I said, I said in at the beginning of the playthrough, I didn't want to be on the side of all these YouTubers that I can't fucking stand dogpiling this game. But it gave me no choice. Just the smallest thing as being so annoying. Why did they why did they push that on you? Like, it make you feel like some part of this world was not finished, so they want to make you go through the areas that's done, so you don't find some shit that's all fucked up, you know? Am I wrong about feeling like that? God, it's making me curse. I don't want to curse. Officer Rigby is like, she's the worst, man. She's the worst. She's the worst. And I get it, like, you know, and it's not even like the whole, you know, woman empowerment thing like that. That has nothing to do with it. They made this character so insufferable that it just made you hate the game. You shouldn't do that. Why would you want why do you want your gamers to be turned off by your fucking product? It's not, it don't make any sense. And so they figured out that, that was an issue, not being able to just drive around and sightsee. Things something simple as that. You can't get into any other car, as far as I know. You got to take the car that you have, and then and you got to get to your next mission. But they did an update where it's a mode where you can just go off and just check things out. They finally put that in there. This I would say this a couple months ago, but still, like, why was that not a thing right at the beginning? You know what I mean? And like I say, I have a list of little points that I wanted to, little beats that I wanted to go through and stuff, and I put like the pacing itself is inconsistent. The timers, the force mission thing, the routing made it was no exploration in a open world game. The part of an open world game is the exploration. That's like the main part. What the fuck? I don't get it. So that part, I mean, it was just like the combat, the having to deal with how the pacing was in the game and stuff. That was two strikes. That was two strikes. Mechanics just felt tacked on. Like I said, the whole drone thing just seemed like it was just there for no damn reason. That drone felt like a crutch. It really did. It really did. Because it didn't help the combat, in my opinion. I defended this game early on. I really did. Because like I said, I like the story. I still want to figure out what's going on. And oh, Lord help me. I really would like to know what the hell happened. And so I didn't even seen anybody else's playthroughs or gameplays of this game. But yeah, the constant get there now from the NPCs. And it wasn't just Rigby. It was whoever you was talking to at the time. They're up your ass with the shit. And it feels like as you progress in the game, maybe by update they dialed that shit back. I'm not sure. So it's not as bad, but it was still there. And every time that she called, while you in that car, I just audibly groaned. Watch those gameplays, man. Every single time. It's just like that person that you don't want to talk to in real life and shit. And they call your damn phone. You're like, ugh, this motherfucker, man. And then the nail in the coffin that was like, just told me, okay, I'm done. And I didn't have the energy anymore to get through this game. Was you get to this part where I talked about it earlier, where you got to sneak into this prison. You got to sneak into this prison and say you're. I'm kind of talking in code and stuff. You got to do this thing, right? You got to do this thing, and to get to the thing, you have to get into the prison. You got to sneak in, and then you're going through the prison and you're doing this whole full stealth mission. And it takes so fucking long, man. It takes so long. And I kept on getting caught. I'm talking about hours, bro, because it was so like you couldn't. One thing, and they got you. You're worrying about the drones in the air that has their flashlights. Then you're worrying about the robots that they had up in every corner trying to get a hold of you. And I'm not a big stealth guy when it comes to gaming anyway. That's definitely not my bag. That's probably why I'll probably, other than just recently playing the Assassin's Creed Shadows, those older Assassin's Creeds, the Hitman games and stuff, that's just not for me. So to somebody, maybe they thought this was like the shit, but you sneak all the way in, okay? You finally get to the part that you're trying to get to, you know? You turn this thing on. It's you get the task done, okay? So what happens? It doesn't, transition to maybe like a cutscene and you get out of there. No, you have to go back out and do the same shit again. You got to sneak. You got to sneak the hell back out doing the same shit. And I kept on getting caught after that. Like, why I just couldn't like shut this thing that I cut on, shut down all these damn robots, and you just get out of there. I get like the vibe that they was trying to pull with that. Like, it might be cool for like, seeing this shit like in a movie or whatever, but it was already, and it would have been fine if it wasn't so damn long. You know what I mean? Fuck. It was just so drawn out and it felt so padded, this part. And once I got out and this was like a whole session, and goddamn, it was like, it took so much time to edit that shitload of fuck because I kept on getting caught and I kept on dying and I was just like, I'm done. And so I had to throw my hands up and to like everybody that shitted on this game. I'm like, you know what? Y'all won. I tried my best to defend this game. I tried my best to give the middle finger to all the people that was that couldn't stand it, and I was defeated. I couldn't do it, and it sucks. And it got a lot of good beats to the playthrough and stuff like that. I was going through it the other day, and and just ups and downs of my frustrations with this game, and I just, man, it's a bummer. It's a bummer because I really wanted to get through it, but I feel like, and it's been about 3 months since I played it. What made me like say like, okay, I'm done with it, is that I feel like I'm gonna have to do the stealth shit again. I feel like they're gonna do that again because I feel like it's padding in the game to make it longer, and I feel like we're gonna have another one of these things where I'm sneaking around and doing some shit. So I just recently heard that they did another update and they was trying to fix some more things. I will have to check the notes and figure out what that thing is. I don't know as of this recording. So maybe they got to the point where you can punch a motherfucker, or the damn stealth is not such of a asshole of a situation to do, and the combat is better. And yeah, it's just, man. Other than that, it's a decent game. I didn't even mind like the fetch quest type things, like taking the drone in the air vents and trying to get these pictures of the one lady that worked with for the billionaire guy. Stuff like that didn't bother me. That part I was okay with, and that was, I guess that was kind of stealthy too. But yeah, it's just, man, what a bummer this game was. Great presentation. The gameplay was just flawed. So yeah, that is Mind's Eye. And like I said, I played that for the PlayStation 5. That's a bummer. So Yeah, I spent a lot of time on that one, but hopefully, if you guys gonna watch this video, maybe you're watching it in spurts and stuff. I planned on this being a little bit longer a video than my normal videos and stuff, but hey, that's yeah. So let's get to the next game. This one is going to be kind of quick because I didn't spend no more than maybe an hour on it, and that's Crimson Sea for the Xbox, the original Xbox. My main issue with Crimson Sea was that the control, the camera work, then the controls, it made me almost sick. And I'm not saying that as an exaggeration or anything and stuff. It's probably only one other game that made me to the point where I was about to throw the fuck up, and that is the Mario Galaxy games. And that's just him jumping around on these worlds and stuff, and whatever it is about Mario jumping around on these these circular planets and stuff, just like, man, it's fucking with my eyes, you know. And Crimson Sea was one of these games that, like, it was so herky jerky, and it's so plagued with what a lot of these games back in the PlayStation 2, the original Xbox era, that they couldn't figure out the camera work, that and the control and how they put all that stuff together. It was doing a little bit too much and not enough, and the controls just made me almost sick to my damn stomach. And like I said, I played maybe an hour of it, and I had to stop. I had to stop the heavy camera issues, the awkward aiming of the game. They give you like they give you a sword and give you a gun, and the aiming of the gun and stuff was kind of hard. You have an aiming trigger itself, and then you got a gun button to shoot, and I felt like that didn't mesh well with each other. And it was just like one of those things where they haven't figured this out for this particular game. This is a Koei Tecmo game, like some of the guys that make the Dynasty Warrior games and things of that nature. It's the game itself is action. It's another action RPG. Man, we really the action RPG space right now and stuff is not working for your uncle OWS. The characters felt like right out of a Final Fantasy type of scenario. So far as the story, from what I got, is they had these two characters. This one guy and this little kid that was with them. They was hard up on some money. They got hired to do a thing, and it kind of went from there. The action itself was kind of a, like, maybe what you're thinking of, like a type of a horde. You dealt with like these type of different aliens and things of that nature, and it's just like there's a bunch of them scattered everywhere, and so you're shooting these like aliens down, and they kept on coming in hordes, and it felt like it was just no reasoning. It's just clear these out to get to this next area, and it just didn't land. It didn't land. The story itself was from what I played and stuff was kind of forgettable, but the characters look great. They look fine. Yeah, it's just that camera right away. I got to the point, and also they gave you a choice to do this tutorial. Let's talk about that. They give you this tutorial to kind of get you into figuring out these the gameplay itself, and right then, that's when I knew that this doesn't feel good. this doesn't feel good to play. And it got to the point where I guess I glitched myself into a part where I had to restart, where they're showing you how to like jump and gather these what they call credits, and to get to this next part of the tutorial, you had to gather all these credits up, where I ended up getting them all, and they was like, well, you have to get every credit. Well, I went all the way back to the beginning of the tutorial, to the beginning of the stage, and I couldn't find whatever credit that I missed. And so I'm like, okay, what the fuck what am I doing wrong here? And I'm looking around, and I'm trying to like swing at barrels and shoot at stuff that maybe is a reason why I can't find these other credits, but it was nowhere to be found. So luckily they gave you an actual option to go through this tutorial or proceed to the actual story. And so I just had to get out of the tutorial itself and just push on through and kind of learn as I go. So, but yeah, it was, I got to the point where I got like a boss. The boss was, like I said, with the camera work and stuff, it's so herky jerky. You're trying to lock on to this thing, and while it was disappearing and it was like going behind you and going in another area, well, you can't get turned around good enough in order to, lock on to this thing again before it disappears again, and then it's like behind you again. It's the controls are just doing. It's not doing enough and yet doing too much at the same time. So I did just say that I wasn't going to talk much about this one, but yeah, people was calling this game like a hidden gem. I don't know. I have to disagree on that one too, because I'm pretty sure it's hidden for a reason. If you're sensitive to camera motion or clunky controls, avoid this one. And I think this one is up on some price and shit. Like it has, because I think it's a Xbox exclusive. The sequel or the original, or maybe this one is the sequel. I'm not really sure. I have it for the PlayStation 2, and I'm looking at my area where my games are and stuff, and I can't find it right now. I imagine that the controls on that one is not better. PlayStation got one of this Crimson franchise, and Xbox got one also. So there you go with that. Just not, don't know if it was going to be like, a banger of a game, because I couldn't do it. I would have probably went cross-eyed and had a damn seizure and cracked my head on the damn table or something trying to play this damn game and shit. That's how bad the controls were. So yeah, that is Crimson Sea for the original Xbox. So, and we did, and we talk about actually some contrasts of games when it comes to this Crimson Sea, because it had like elements, like I said, the whole hoarding thing, and it's a game that I'm playing right now. And actually, it's probably we're probably, as I'm recording this, a couple of playthroughs in. One of the games that was actually a good surprise to me this year, and that is Warhammer Space Marine 2, and it does the hoarding, action shooting type of thing, and it does it very well. That everything feels fluid and everything feels good to play. The camera works properly, and you're not having that type of issue. Which, like I said, games like this, because it's so, this is 2025, and this game came out in like maybe 2004. 2003. You can see where, games like this learn from its mistakes, from things of the past and things. So that's that. So last game that we will talk about, and we'll kind of breeze through this one again. I know I said that already. This game, this video is going to be damn near 2 hours. The next game that I dropped was Berserk Boy. Think of Mega Man, modern retro version of that, like a twist of a Mega Man game. I wanted to like it, but what came out of this one is rage quit. I rage quit it. I got through, and I had one playthrough of that in my What We Playing series, and I had so much problems with the platforming, the overall, like the boss fights. It came off as cheap at times, and the boss designs themselves, it just turned me off, and it really pushed me away very, very fast. I started to hate it, but I got so far into the game, and I did it for content itself, that I pushed through like the first couple of stages, but this one was also a me thing. This one is also a me thing. I'm watching the playthrough as I'm talking here. It was just so cheap. I'm sure it's this type of challenge really excites certain gamers. It's not for me. I don't like it as a person that even grew up when these games was like, this was like a normal thing. Like with the Mega Man games and stuff. Love Mega Man, love the Mega Man franchise. Not big onto the games. And that's coming from an 80s kid that was there front and center when these games was very popular and it was a thing. I can die without saying that I beat a Mega Man game fully. Mega Man X is more my vibe and stuff. It's but even with those games and stuff, there's kind of hit and miss. Yeah, it's just it has more of that thing where a lot of these modern retro games is not leaving a lot of that stuff into the past, and it's that fucking cheap difficulty that a lot of these games have and stuff. Like, I get that you want to bring that vibe back and have that part of it because it's nostalgic. I get it. But when it comes to certain things that just need to stay in the past, like the getting hit and getting knocked back, like stuff like that just needs to stay where the hell it's at. And that's back in the in the early, the late 80s and the 90s and stuff, in the NES era. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I will never advocate for that type of gameplay. No matter what era I came from, I don't like it. So this is definitely, like I said, a me thing. I'm sure a lot of people like this type of stuff. I'm sure it's a lot of people that enjoy this type of gameplay. It's not for me. It's not. Parts of the action and stuff, the combat and stuff, it fits well. That part I like. It's a cool looking, nice looking game. It's it has that nice, colorful Mega Man-ish look to it and stuff. Definitely not knocking it there, the presentation. But it's so cheap. is so cheap, and it's one of those things where you you have to be perfect. You have to get good in order to get through these you know, a simple level. It's not very forgiving when it comes to like the save points. It doesn't have a lot of checkpoints when it comes to certain parts of the game. And yeah, I just it turned me off right away. And I wouldn't say rage quit, because I at least got through like that last boss that I got through, but I didn't see myself getting through and playing more of this game. And I don't see myself booting this one back up to play it in the foreseeable future. Yeah, cheap. The deaths just piled up, and in ways it just felt arbitrary. It just leaned into that old school difficulty for the difficulty's sake, and that's not satisfying for me. It's just not. You know what it felt like? It felt like it wanted to be that weekend rental type of game. You know, a lot of those games back in our day was difficult because it wanted you to rent the game again. And that's how a lot of us played certain games. We had to rent them. You know, we had to rent them on those weekends. And 9 times out of 10 and stuff, it was one of them games that you couldn't beat right away because it was made for you to rent them all over again and play them on multiple settings and stuff, because we didn't always get those games day one and things. And while I don't mind the challenge, but when it's designed for you to be frustrated rather than to reward you, I lose interest. I died too much, and it turned me off. So, if you love brutal retro difficulty, this is probably for you. I'm sure it's some asshole out there that's, you know, one death, no death this game, and kudos to you. Bravo fucking vote. That's great for you. I love that for you, but it's not for me. Love the retro charm, just couldn't stand the unfair difficulty. So that is Berserk Boy for the PlayStation 5. So yeah, so a few takeaways. After going through like all those games and stuff, it was a few patterns that that stand out. These the reoccurring reasons I drop titles is just the grind fatigue, without nothing, no payoff. You know, certain games like the Karate Kid, the combat itself didn't have that impact. That the move set was very bland. I didn't like. Tacked on designs of games and mechanics like the drones, being forced to go straight into missions with Mind's Eye, poor control, like the issues that I having that got to the point that it made me sick, like with Crimson Sea, the cheap deaths that I was dealing with when it came to Berserk Boy. God dang, I keep on forgetting the name of that game. And sometimes it's just not the game. It's just not the game for you. And these games wasn't for me. I'm sure it's loved by somebody. I'm sure somebody might, you know, look at the gameplay and be like, oh, that's something I might want to try out. So that's, yeah, that's great. So, what I know about like my own play style is that I prefer games that respect my time and reward me for playing, not punish me for playing it, you know? It's I don't know, maybe that's hard to describe, and maybe that's something that I will get into like in another conversation, but I would stick with a game longer if the core loop, the combat, the movement, the progression feels good. So that would probably just, you know, sum that up more about what I'm trying to achieve as a gamer. So kind of rules that I'm using right now when it comes to these games that doesn't really, you know, catch me right away. If it doesn't feel satisfying to play within 5 to 10 hours, to me it's a red flag. If it don't turn me on and get me invested in the first hour, I probably will stop playing it right then and there. And because I just have so much shit. I have so much on the backlog to play, and I try to play so many things that I'm not going to deal with it no more. I'm not going to deal with the frustration. I don't mind difficulty. I don't mind something that's giving me a challenge, but I don't want it to waste my time. I don't want it to feel cheap. I don't want it to feel like I have to force myself to play it if it's not hitting those beats of things that I like. I'll just cut it up. I'll just end it, and that'll be it. The other one is just I'm on the fence still, is the Mind's Eye. I really hope that I can kind of get the nerve to go back into the Mind's Eye world and go through that one and just finish that one up. That one was going to be a lot of convincing on myself to get done. So we'll see. All right, I want to hear from you guys. Drop a comment. Which games have you dropped recently, and why? Which of these should I revisit and give another chance? And which ones I should just never touch again? Want to follow up of something like this, and maybe we'll talk about more games that I've dropped, because I'm playing a lot of games now. We'll have another conversation with these again. Hopefully it won't take months to have one of these chats again. So yeah, if y'all stuck with me through this and enjoy the kind of the unscripted nuance of this thing, is this a podcast? I don't know. I don't know if this is should I call this a podcast? I don't know. This one was kind of bulky, so I will I guess after editing I will talk more, because I know I'm gonna put B-roll in and stuff, so that's not really podcast-ish, right? No? I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of just playing this as it goes and stuff, and enjoying it as I see fit. So, but yeah, if y'all stuck it out with me, please like, subscribe, ring that bell, get that notification, because I drop stuff every day or every other day. But I drop gameplays. And I'm going to do more of these conversations and stuff, so I can get more into, it's not just me just dropping video games and gameplays. And I'm also going to do another video. This will be the first video, and I'll do a second one about the games that I'm playing right now that I'm actually enjoying playing. So that's look out for that. Yeah, this is OWS The King. For OWS The King Gaming, your hub for casual gaming. Like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, get in that comment section and let's have a discussion. And yeah, we'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be safe out there. Appreciate y'all. Peace.